Good morning, everybody, or good afternoon, or good evening, or happy midnight if that's what time it happens to be. But welcome to episode 19. We are taking a look at the Combat Academy today. The Combat Academy is going to be your choice for training or recruiting your guardsmen for the barracks or guard towers. So we're going to jump into that. Let's go ahead and show you how to build this thing, and then we will talk about its requirements and anything else you need to know. But let's go ahead and hop right into it. let's take a quick look at our Combat Academy here. I hope you enjoyed the new build format there. Let me know what you think below, if you just like the excuse me, the sped up version there where I just fly through things, or if you kind of like the instructional tutorial. I guess it really depends on what you're here for, but you can see our exterior's all done up with buttons and a little bit of planery here. One thing you probably didn't see because I didn't chase around is that I just went ahead and put these stone bricks blocks here. Those are Domum Ornamentum blocks, and in fact most of this is DO blocks or Domum Ornamentum. We've got our interior here. Now these are our combat dummies. It is a block of a hay bale block with a carved pumpkin on top, and that tells the mod that this is a combat dummy, and our little guardsmen will come over and train and wallop these poor little sad pumpkins. Just look at their faces. They are horrified to get beat up on all day long just so our colonists can level up. But we got some basic interior here, nothing fancy going on. Of course, you saw me pop in the beds up here, so this is our other requirement, is that we need 5 beds, 1 bed per level for our Combat Academy, and we've got all 5 of those there. There's our Combat Academy hut block, and I don't think there's much else to say. We've got our skylights in here. If you noticed the first time, and I pointed it out, the DO blocks, when you're dealing with these texture patterns, they are directional. So if I grab one of these and I just put that down that way, put that one down that way, you can see, unlike textures for the slabs or planks or whatever else you're dealing with, these textures always line up in the same direction. These DO textures are directional. So you can end up with some funky bits there, like I did when we ended up with this one thick plank, but you know, that can also mean that you can play with this and you can do some interesting things with the textures if you were interested in it anyways. Like if you like having that large beam down the middle, you know, that's not a bad look. It looks kind of cool. But anyways, let's go ahead and jump on over. We'll show you how we did the breakdown real quick, and then that'll be it for the Combat Academy. We'll move on to the archery. Okay, here we are at our level 5 Combat Academy. You can see the floor might be slightly different, but everything else should be pretty much the same. I tried pretty hard to make sure that this was correct. You can see our archery range over there is not much of a range and looks very similar to the Combat Academy. I don't know, for some reason I just kind of like to make them look the same, but let's move on down to level 4. These levels are very basic, and if you watched all through the Barracks schematic, I mentioned something and then I went ahead and did that, even though I said I rarely do. But you can see, since we're down to level 4, we lose a combat dummy there, a training dummy, and we lose a bed, just that bed over there. And there's really nothing else that changed except for the roof line up here. Now moving on to level 3, you can see we didn't change much again. We changed the roof line, and our training dummies changed. We lost a little bit of the stair rails there, so they might jump out of there, but it shouldn't hurt them at all, hopefully. And rearrange the beds a little bit. I didn't really bother to put any decoration in here, though I could have. And level 2 is kind of a big step because we jump all the way down. Oh man, I got some bad texture things going on. There we go. Let's just reset the shaders real quick. And there we go. There's our level 2. And basically all I did was I pushed the walls in by 2 blocks so that we end up with this really skinny thing. We've got our 2 combat dummies, redid the stairs inside. There's our hut block and our 2 beds, and that is all we need for level 2 to function, which is perfect. Now level 1, you can see there are blocks in here that I don't normally include in a level 1 schematic. Now the Combat Academy and the archery range, both of which you cannot build until I believe the guard tower is already level 3. I believe it works on the same guard tower. I might be wrong on that research. I'll double check that, and if I if I am incorrect, there'll be a note up here that actually describes the correct research path. But you can see we've got our 1 training dummy and our 1 bed. We kept our gold blocks, item frames, lanterns, things we don't normally have at level 1, but that's okay because this technically, as far as research-wise and colony progression, starts at level 3. So if you remember from the barracks, I said I don't normally do this, but I figured why not? Let's just go ahead and contradict myself in the very next video. Well, that wraps it up for our Combat Academy. Thank you all for joining me. I hope you enjoyed the video and learned how to make your own Combat Academies. For our next video, we'll be featuring the archery range, our other training facility, except for, obviously, archers this time. As always, I really appreciate you joining me. Hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you in the next video. Until then, bye-bye.